For anyone wondering outside, it is cold. Very cold. Actually, it's not so much cold. Oh, temps to drop next Monday. Well, that's good to know. Um, how are we feeling? It is Thursday. It is Thursday. We got our gain on our mic too high. Okay. Um, okay, so we left off kind of trying to figure out where we can get offense from. Um, the way I see this, we're kind of in a weird position. Our budget's middle of the pack. I thought we were a big market team. They kind of stiffed me on the budget, but as we can see, we have about 1 million left available. What I was looking at last time was we were kind of attacking the trade block. Um, as we look at our lineup, we're just going to use this to kind of base our lineup here. This is because I can see all the batting stats. If we sort everything by, I think everything's sorted by on base, but we'll sort it by runs created because that's actually a better. We've figured out that we've got to get Greg Lazinski in the lineup every day, even against righties. He's not playing every day. Um, but Royal Stillman's starting to pick it up a little bit. Let's see what his splits are like. Well, I'll say that as he had a better May with. Oh, this is wait. Major League. Yeah. So he struggled to start. He's actually playing a little better. 81 OPS plus is not much to write home about, but we got to figure out a way to get a little better offensively. We kind of have a couple positions that are holding us back a little bit. Also, our on base, I don't think our lineup is being optimized fairly well. So we're really good at the slugging part. We're third in homers and third in. We'll take a look at our info. So this is where we're at offensively. This is what we're going to start by looking at. We had a pretty bad month of June. So we were hovering around 500. We were good in April, decent in May, but we were awful in June. Some of this could have been luck, but there's some underlying issues with this team. One of them is while we had hit for good average as a team, our on-base average is kind of low, right? So it's at 303, which is 8th in the NL. That's middle of the pack. But with a batting average this high, our walks, we're 11th in walks. This right here is going to be a problem. Our OPS is second. So we're actually second in slugging. So hitting the ball with impact is not an issue for this team. It's getting on first base. And that's why we're only 7th in runs scored. There could be some other luck-based stats here, but I think our inability to get on first base is haunting us a little bit. So as we look at our lineup, the first thing I notice is that we have the wrong guy hitting leadoff. We've been going with Tim Foley all season, but his on-base right now is at 299. His on-base is actually lower than the team as a whole. If we look again at our team stats, our on-base is 303. Our leadoff hitter alone is 299. So we got to get someone with a better on-base here. The ideal party for this is probably we might move up Junior Kennedy in the leadoff spot. Basically, similar on-base profile. He has a little less power. Similar offensive profiles, but the difference is the on-base. Junior Kennedy's on-basing at 345. So, and this is in 230 plate appearances of 334. So there's enough of a sample for me to be fairly confident. And even though he's only average at getting, he only has average eye, but his eye is way better than 40. So we've had the wrong guy hitting leadoff. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a simple move. Swap 1 and 6. That's an easy move. And plus, Foley does have a little more power. Like ISO is 144 versus 079. So that's going to help us there. He might be able to drive in Frank Howard from first base or Doug DeSantis from first, whereas Junior Kennedy could not. So this might optimize our lineup a little bit. The other one is upgrading center field. We've been rocking Royal Stillman in a platoon role. Problem is the player I really want in the lineup because he's been hitting well is Greg Lazinski. As you can see, 100 plate appearances, which isn't that many. So we don't want to base too much of a sample, but he does have, and only an 8% walk rate. So again, not really. This could be luck driven. He does have a fairly high BABIP at 386. So that's why I'm not necessarily super eager to just put him in the lineup every day. I know with a larger sample, he will probably go back to hitting, the 238, 305 he hit in 200 plate appearances last year. Because I don't think anything else about his game has changed. 40 walks. Yeah, so literally, he's walked a bit more, but 14 walks and 190 plate appearances is not much to write home about either. We just look at his batting stats. We can look at his expanded stats. We see the walk rate is not much higher. Really, the main difference in his game is an elevated BABIP. So, keep him in the lineup, yes, but let's not put him in every day. Okay, we'll still use him as a pinch hitter. Plus, the trade-off is defense. The trade-off here is defense. Royal Stillman is actually a above-average center fielder, almost good. So even though he's got a good batting eye, so this is another thing we can look at. He's not great at He's not great at batting average, but he's got a good batting eye and he doesn't have much power, but he can walk. So he's actually the ideal 8 hitter for us. So we're actually probably going to move. We're probably going to go ahead and drop Echeverria but even Echeverria is a similar batting profile. But again, but he doesn't have the walk. So we're going to actually swap Echeverria and Stillman. We're actually going to move Stillman into the 8 hole here because of his ability to get on first base via the walk. Because he's going to be walked a lot hitting in front of the pitcher. In theory. So we're actually doing, if we get that one position, we'll be above average offensively. I think that's where we're at right now. The other thing we got to figure out is pitching staff. So our starters are okay. Jim Barr may be a weak 5th starter. But again, he doesn't pitch every day. He's only made 9 starts. So I think this is an okay placement for him. You don't have to have your 5 best going 1 through 5 when we play the way we do. The issue here is kind of our middle relief. I've actually thought about maybe going away from the closer setup. We're rolling with Gene Garber as closer instead of Aurelio Lopez. We've demoted Aurelio Lopez down into middle relief role because he has struggled a bit. The strikeouts are down quite a bit over last year. So because of that, we think that it's a better idea to have Garber or Opulus in the 7th and 8th inning roles. And then we can run Lopez, Mora, Grady, Pierce, Emoyet. Emoyet we brought up because this profile looks pretty good. The control's not, but he's not going to be used that much. And he was an upgrade over who we had in AAA, which was Pogonelski, who was struggling a little bit. He had an ERA of 11 and 11 innings. I thought the sample size doesn't matter. The strikeouts aren't great. He probably needs a little more work in AAA to maximize his potential. He does have spark plug ability, so good. That's our Our minor league teams are actually playing well. 48 and 32, they're 53 and 25, 53 and 20, 5 and 6 in the rookie ball, but that's fine. So we're doing well everywhere except the big leagues. Big league team's not doing that well, but I think this is a good start. Jim Barr is not pitching that great. He has more walks and strikeouts. As we look here, we probably want to look at his strategy points. We'll probably jump this up to max. Probably jump this to max. We'll override team setting. Give him a quicker hook. He is a fly ball pitcher, so we'll utilize some outfield shifts. And we'll do outfield depth there. So we're just going to min-max him a little bit because, as you can see, he's a fly ball pitcher with really not great stuff, but he's got the potential to have an excellent control. So he hasn't displayed it, but maybe we actually go to his strategy and bump this number down a little bit. Maybe dump this back down to maybe here. Maybe a little above average on the intentional walks because he doesn't have great control. He's going to pitch around people. And then we got the aggressive tiredness hook, so he's not going to pitch as many innings anyways. And then looking at the rest of my starters, I'm not too worried about my starters right now. I think, let's just go back here. Picked the wrong one. Caldwell's been good. He had an injury earlier in the year, so he has not pitched as much. He missed about 3 starts. Catfish Hunter's been good, 4-9 record, but notwithstanding. But the walks and strikeouts are about the same, but he doesn't have much control. Him working on control has not really kind of played out. Looking at his control, be the dark green. He's kind of hovering around 40. He is 26, so in fact his control has actually dropped. What's his relationship with the pitching coach? Good. So it's it's just not there development wise. But he's not giving up home runs, and he's been pretty good about limiting base runners. So, and those are reflected in his actual skills. Again, we can look at his strategy, average strategy points. We could probably utilize the attack here. So I think this one, maybe we could look at maximizing some of the strategy points for our starters. We won't use the aggressive tiredness hook, but we'll kind of keep the hooks on average. And again, all this is fine. So we're going to override that. Just because he's got the stuff. We just need him to attack. We just need him to attack more. Phil Necro. 3.20 ERA is kind of not great. And we gave him a slower hook for some reason. Let's bump that up to average. We'll just adjust the team strategy with him. Like, he doesn't have great stuff, so maybe we should utilize some of his. And he's gonna have a lower than average BABIP. So let's actually look at his strategy, and we will actually utilize a little more frequently the pitched around and intentional walk ratings. And we won't worry about the others. Phil Necro is on an aggressive tiredness hook too, but which with 70 stamina, probably unnecessary. Ed Figueroa, he's been probably our best pitcher. I might just leave him alone for now. He has a 1.48 ERA in 109 innings. And we've already kind of looked at his strategy points, and let's actually buff him up a little bit. There we go. and we'll override. Actually, no. Let's calm Let's calm this one down. Let's actually go back to that because he doesn't have great control. Actually, here. There, we'll do that. And then the bullpen guys, let's look at Lopez. So his stuff is average. He should be attacking hitters. His BABIP is kind of high, 357. He has average BABIP ability, so it shouldn't be that high. It should be about 50 points lower. It should be about 50 points lower. So he has been a little unlucky. We need to actually turn these down a little bit because, well, in fact, we need to go the other way with this one. Let's see. Armando Mora. Again, he's got 80 stuff. We got to utilize it. So we're going to go the other way with this. Actually, let's keep his kind of here because if he attacks too much, he might give up more contact. So we'll kind of leave his alone. Let's see. Grady Pierce. I mean, these guys have only pitched 2 innings. Ken Brett. He's got a slow hook for whatever reason. At least he does as a starter. Again, should probably be. Yeah, we've adjusted him down a little bit. Okay. And then Gene Garber, I think he's good across the board, so there's really no need to adjust his strategy points. 1.64 ERA, almost 50 innings. And then Von Ray. I don't really. I mean, we could utilize the intentional walk, but he's got an extreme fly ball pitcher, so he has a high BABIP, which checks. So, I mean, maybe we pinch around a little more, but okay. Anyways, we're a few games out. One thing is I have too many fly ball pitchers, so we might make a trade here. We could trade like, oh shit, wrong. We could make someone like him available. Like he's, oh no, he's not the guy we want to look at. Like, shoot, there is one on here. Like, maybe we don't have extreme fly ball pitchers on our staff. We do need to get some more ground ball pitchers. Okay, so we're going to roll with this. We could also look at maybe some of our lineup stuff, maybe optimizing that, but I don't think there's too much we can do with. Really, the main thing we would is doing base running and hit and run stuff, and I really don't think that, you can't really do too much. I don't. Yeah. I was just looking at my best player, figure out what we can make moves there, but there's not really a lot we can do. Our lineup against lefties. Oh, we got to make the same move here, so we're going to flop 1 and 7. Our lineup's a little deeper against lefties because, and then we'll leave Echebarren in the 8th spot. Might even flip Luzinski and Howard. But we'll see. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're probably going to sim a few games here. We're going up against the Mets, who are right below us in the division. In fact, they're just a half game out. So we could very well be in third place after the series. And we are right now in third place. We took a 5-1 loss. Caldwell did not pitch well. And the offense didn't really produce the runs we needed. We might actually also flip 2 and 4 win and Doug DeSantis too. But I don't think that move is warranted just yet. No. I mean, I don't think. I mean, there's a 50-point difference in batting average, but that's about it. Both went 0 for 4. In fact, Luzinski got a hit, 2 hits, and then this was a lefty lineup. So we only had 7 hits. We got outpitched by John Matlack. Why the football? Hold on. My phone's ringing. It rings off the hook. I should have grabbed my watch. That was ill. Okay, so we got outpitched by John Matlack. There's no shame in getting outpitched by Matlack. So yeah, let's go to game 2, and we finally get a win. Jim Barr. 3 base runners in 9 innings. Had his best outing. I don't know what a McAndrew is, but as you can see, we got a little. Royal Stillman had 2 RBI, hitting 7th. RBIs from Stargell, who went 1 for 2, and Jimmy Wynn. Most everybody got a hit. Even Duffy Dyer got a hit. Okay, game 3 also goes to us in an 8-0 shutout. We got to Nolan Ryan a little bit. He only had 5 strikeouts in 6 innings. He threw 107 pitches. Catfish Hunter threw 137. In a very good 8 2/3 outing. Offensively, Echeverria came through with 3 runs batted in. Look at that. And Wayne went 1 for 4. A lot out of the middle. Junior. I want to call him Justice Kennedy, but Junior went 0 for 4. Catfish Hunter had 2 hits and 2 RBI. So definitely the MVP here was Catfish Hunter. He provided a lot of stuff. Got 8 walks again, but when you're going up against Nolan Ryan, you're going to get your walks. He has led the league in walks the last 3 years. You're going to get your walks in against him. That's the kind of pitcher he is. And actually, his strikeouts are way down this year. You can look up his real-life stats. His real-life stats are actually kind of crazy. He pitched for like 50 years. Yeah, like 10 Ks per 9 in the 70s is insane. 11 Ks per 9 in 200 innings at 40 years old. This guy was built different. This is why when you hear people talk about like, oh, pitchers should be more like Nolan Ryan. No, how many pitchers pitched 230 innings at 42 years old with 11 Ks per 9. Like, not many. I wonder if this pitches per game is a. Well, these are real stats, so yeah. Wonder how accurate that is. Averages 138 pitches per start in. But even then, look at the. If you look at his pitches per game, look at this. Like, that's not that far removed from today's numbers. If these numbers are legit, like most pitchers pitch about 100 pitches a start, and he was down like. Not everybody's gonna make 130 pitches a start like he did here in his peak. So it's not so much that and he didn't give up that many hits. His whip was yeah. A little over a base runner an inning. But you can even see here. Look at this stuff. Like you talk about pitcher usage. Um, Go to basic stats. Like, sure, he made 30 starts a year, but 21 starts in here, 29. So he missed time here. Like 30 starts. Obviously, he made 28 starts, and so he had years where he didn't make his full allotment of starts. So I don't really know why everybody has a hard on for the way pitchers pitched in the 70s. Okay, so we took 2 out of 3 from the Mets. We're back to 500, and we're back to second place. We are 7.5 games out from Pittsburgh. We got to make small moves. We can't make big moves. So we're just going to go ahead and sim a few more games to the All-Star break as we lose 8-3 against the Dodgers. They're good. When you go up against Don Drysdale especially. Well, I mean, it doesn't help when he gets 8 runs of support. Most of that in the 5th inning. Offensively, not much going on. Junior Kennedy in the leadoff spot has not really worked out as in the first couple games. We'll probably need more of a sample, but right now it's the best solution I got. 3-2 win. Kind of looking here offensively, not much going on. Doug DeCinces 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Jimmy Wynn had a couple runs batted in. Stillman went 3 for 4. Royal Stillman's now hitting 288 with a 350 on base. If his BABIP was higher, like he's got good gap power, which is not important, but if his BABIP was higher, he'd be the leadoff hitter because of his 60 I. But right now, I don't trust his BABIP ability enough to he is 21 though. Okay. All right. Rubber game against the Dodgers. Well, we lost 7-0. So, and we went up against Don Sutton. Caldwell got lit up again. He's struggling a bit since he came back. He's given up 7, 5, and 7 runs. His ERA's jumped up a run and a half almost since coming back from the injured list. Should we have put him in? We probably should have given him a rehab stint. Yeah, he has. Well, he struggled in June too. So situation we got to monitor here. He can't go down to the minors, but we do probably need to look at how we're deploying him. He has a really slow hook. And we've kind of looked at this stuff already, so yeah. Our owner's still upset. We're still in third. We're in third place now. So it looks like the. All right, now we're playing against San Francisco. They're 46-40. And we win 6-3. So Jim Barr, another solid outing, and he goes into the bullpen a little bit more. Opulus gave up a run, but the game was already decided by that point. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see a lot of. Dave Rosello went 2 for 4. He's humble. Wish he would have. Well, yeah, he's been really bad. He's 22. He probably needs to be in the minors, but I might use him as trade bait. All right, so 2-1 loss. Yeah, we could probably figure out what happened here. Yeah, 6 walks though. Yeah, Juan Marichal happened. And we pick up. So we're winning series now, but we're kind of struggling to keep afloat here. Necro had a good outing. We outpitched Gaylord Perry. Didn't we have him? No. I thought we had Gaylord Perry at one point. What's his spitball rating? And let's see here. I'm looking. Yeah. All right, so we got about 10 days data now. Let's kind of look at. We can look at batting leadoff in 35 at bats. Okay, about what we want. Yeah, 375 on base. So now that's a little better. We're up in the power rankings, but I think we might. The Mets are pulling it. The Mets are actually catching fire a little bit. They're 44-41. So let's hope this series against the Padres, our fellow expansion team, who is dead last in every offensive category and many of the pitching categories too. Their best is they got Roger Kane. They have a bunch of people who I don't know. This has to be our get right series as we head towards the All-Star game. We get a 9-6 victory. Figueroa struggled, but the bullpen bailed him out. Offensively, got a couple walks, but mainly it's like Echeverria went 3 for 4 again. Royal Stillman had 2 RBI. Stargell homered. Okay. They had 5 hits but 6 runs, so they probably had a bunch of walks. Yep. We had 7 runs in the first inning. So it was 3-0 and it was 7-3 after the first. That inning looked fun. Time of game was 3 hours with an 8:05 start time. That's an awfully late start time. Dang. That's a late start time. They stay out late in Canada, though. Remember, Montreal. It's a fun city. I might go to Montreal one day. We should put Montreal on our bucket list. Okay. Game 2 against the Padres. We lose 3-0 because we were probably hungover from the night before. Caldwell was a little better. Just 7 base runners, but he gave up 3 runs. They strung together some hits. We were not able to string together anything with 5 hits. Looking around, it looks like, yeah. And the last game here before or by up 3-0. So we win another series. So we've kind of recovered from a little bit. Jim Barr he's actually pitching really well for us this year. 9 innings, another shutout. He pitched 30 batters. He's had his fair share of flyouts. Hardly the get back series we probably would have wanted, but it was for some of our guys hitting down in the lineup a little bit. All right. Midway point of June or July, whatever. As I can see, we've won more games than we've lost. We're 7-5. Our batting average has gone down a little bit, but everything else is held. Our on base is still about the same. We're still killing it with the slugging category. And our bullpen has gotten a little better. We're now 5th in the NL in bullpen. I'm not really worried about the pitching staff, to be honest. Kind of taking a mid-July look at where we're at offensively, because this is going to be a very short stream. I like to look at the expanded standings to see that we are still plus 41 run differential, bested only by the Reds. Mets are 21, they're at 29. Phillies are down here at 31, despite being 6 games under. So the NL East is low-key a good division. The Cubs and the Cardinals are there, but the Padres have been the punching bag of the league again. So are the Brewers. And who is the other? So the other thing we kind of want to keep track of this, kind of eyeball the teams we came in the league with. As you can see, the Royals are 43 and 46. They have positive run differential. They've been a little unlucky. The Padres and the Brewers came in 69, and they're both bad. They're just bad. And then us, kind of, we know where we're at. We're the 49 and 38 Pythagorean. We're the unluckiest team outside the Braves. Not good at home. Okay on the road. And I think I still think the reason we're bad at home is we're not really optimizing our home park that well. We're 12 and 18 in one-run games. That's kind of where we're not doing so hot. The Mets are on a tear. They've won 9 straight. They're the hottest team in the National League now. They're making a run at Pittsburgh. Remember, Pittsburgh has been kind of lucky. 7-2 in extra innings, 16-11 in one-run games. Mets are 18-10. So we kind of expect the Pirates to come back to earth. Up here, though, again, we're at the All-Star break pretty much. We're about 88 games in. So we're at the midpoint for sure. The Oakland A's though are murdering baseball right now. They're first in the American League in both runs scored and runs allowed. First in ERA. First in starters, second in bullpen, third in FIP. They're not great on strikeouts, but they're the number one. They're really good on defense. And then second in steals, second in homers, first in batting WAR, second in OPS, second in average. They're doing everything right. They're led offensively by Darrell Evans, Chris Spear, Gene Tennis, Raleigh Fingers, Vida Blue, Spaceman Bill Lee, Jim Nash, Don Caldwell, and then Jim Brewer in the bullpen has been pretty good for them. But you can see they're cruising now. Raleigh Fingers has been the best pitcher for some time. Yeah. His stamina is not great. That's weird. His stamina is so low which and then Vida Blue. I expected Vida Blue to have higher ratings than this, but so he was good through 77, and then he kind of I don't know why I expected his numbers to be a little better than that. He kind of struggled once he got to. Well, no, not really. He just had a couple bad years. This is Spaceman Bill Lee. This guy's fucking nuts. Let's see. All right, let's take a look at my lineup here. We're at the halfway point of the month, pretty much. I'm thinking about my lineup here to 2 spot and the 4 spot. Oh, he has captain ability now. Hell yeah. You know what this means, right? With captain ability, I didn't. You know what? Wait a minute. He has captain ability. You know what that means? Charlie Smith down here, he's expendable. Oh hell yeah. We're about to expend him. Cause now I can go down here into AAA and we can get a host of people. Like, let's look at this now. Let's take a look at this because I no longer have to have veteran presence in my pinch hitting. We've been kind of holding serve on this lineup with Rosello and Smith basically just taking up empty spots right now. Cesar Geronimo has not been great, but he's replacement level and he provides really good defensive value even though he can't hit a lick. Looks like what I'm needing, and unfortunately neither of these can provide it, is someone to kind of give Tim Foley a rest. He's played 85 games. He's basically playing every day. He's slightly tired, but he's fine. But we got to have someone who can play a reserve who can play shortstop. So let's take a look at this. We're going to look at our AAA team. Frank Taveras is not it. Lucky Thompson's not it. Would like him to be, but he just doesn't have the defensive rating at shortstop right now. He's already played. Well, he played a bunch of games for us earlier. He actually not terrible, but he needs to. Well, he wasn't great in the minors. Let's see. Let's see. Fred Kendall, Daniel Adams. Tell you what. We could bring him. We could bring up Daniel Adams here. He doesn't have much power, but he's above average at contact and above average at walks, and he's a really good defender at second. And like the shortstop ratings, like he's going to be an average shortstop and above average second baseman. We've got third base covered, I think, with defense with Rosello, right? No, not really. So we probably need someone who can play a good defensive third base too. I mean, we're putting Doug DeSenses there right now, and he's not great. Yeah. What about Double A? Roy Gibson. I mean, he's a good defense. Here's an interesting one. We picked him up in a trade a few years ago. But he's hitting 279. He's actually not hitting very well. He didn't hit very well in AAA. We'll let him kind of develop through the minor league system a little bit. Sam Houston. Oh, if you could hit, buddy. Oh, if you could hit. He's hitting pretty well. He's also 21. Let's see. Pete Makinen, yeah, it looks like Pete Makinen is settling into quad A role now. Jimmy Collins. Intriguing. Let's see, Jerry White. I should look at infielders. Joe Munoz. Definitely these. I'm surprised he doesn't have spark plug roll. Let's take a look at the Let's take a look at the trading block. I don't think there's anything here. The trading block has grown a little bit. Don Buford, yeah. Left fielder. Nah, he can't play center. And he doesn't, well, he'd be my leadoff hitter. But he wants to be a cleanup hitter. Well, he can't be a cleanup hitter with 45 power, buddy. Oh, no. Buddy, you are on drugs. Let's see. Joe Pepitone. We had him a few years ago. Actually, we traded him to Texas. But again, let's see. Adolfo Phillips. Can't hit. Well, he's gonna hit power, but yeah. Well, no. Let's see. Cleat Boyer. Hey now. Third and short. Oh shit, he blocked us. He's on the block, but so he's not wanting to be traded. They have something called a Michael Loom. Oh, this was an actual player. Okay. I've never heard of him. And he played for the Braves. And probably why I haven't heard of him. Oh, he only hit 90 home runs. Okay. Dang. Okay, well, so much for that idea. They put him on the trade block, and he has 10-5. Yeah, well, let's see. Vic Davalillo or Ron Hansen. Giants, Ron Hansen. Good work ethic. He's kind of struggling offensively, but I just need a backup. Let me utilize a scouting report on him. Let me request a scouting report. There we go. Yeah, 250. He's gonna hit a few home runs. Let's see. Don Wirt, we had him, but he hasn't done much since we traded him, though. And then last days of Lou Brock. Ken McCullen. Okay. So I think right now Ron Hansen would be a good get for us. Um, just depends on what his scouting report is. Obviously, so we're gonna place a read on him. He makes 141,000, so we should be able to stomach that salary. Um, we're still 7.5 games out. We're now in third place because the Mets have kind of surged a bit. So, um, all right, let's just go into the. Let's just finish today. Let's see. Oh, okay. We got a scouting report on Randy Hundley. I had forgotten about this. Oh, we're trying to we were trying to make some trades, but he's. I don't think he would be any better than my current backup catcher, right? Not really. 68 and 59. He's 63 OPS plus, so that's not really an option. Let's see. Dave Rader. Um, we took a flyer on him, 23. A little more on the power, a little more on that. So maybe he's a player we get. Let's take a look at. We I think we had done this before. We were looking to the Cubs for a trade. Okay, so that's why we couldn't make it work. Okay. Um, he's not on the block, so that's probably why we couldn't really make that work. All right, let's go ahead and sim through. When's he? Oh, the All Star break is not until July 25th. Okay. All right, 5-2 loss to LA. We just, again, when you get out pitched, it's just, you just can't. Route West. So, a battle of the knuckleballers here. Charlie Huff against Phil Necro. And looks like our lineup was able to get on base here. Yep. It looks like the motion hasn't affected or the dropping down in the order hasn't affected our shortstop much at all. I think this number has come down a little bit, but we can look at his splits, see how he's doing. He has struggled a bit, so maybe we. But it's not like, well, yeah, the slugging isn't there, so we've seen a bit of a drop. He hit fifth a few times too, but I mean that's not much worse than. Okay, ads are about to run, so we'll take a look. We'll play out the rest of it. We'll play out this last game, and then we will go ahead and get these ads run as we take a 5-3 loss. So now we're at 45. We're even through 90. Looks like, yeah. Caldwell gave up a ton of base runners, 18 base runners. Managed to, oh boy, gave up a couple bombs too. So he's actually struggling a bit. Yeah, he's lost his last 5 decisions. Um, maybe the All-Star break will be good for him. So we'll go ahead and run these ads so that way we can pay the bills. Um, appreciate y'all hanging out, and we'll do the next hour through the All-Star break, and then I'll figure out if we want to finish the season or not, or if I just want to play Balatro all day. So I'll see y'all in about 3 minutes. Thank y'all for joining today, and I will be back soon. I'm back. I forgot to turn my thing on. Oh, let's take a look at our emails. Let's look at the top 100 prospects list. We haven't. We shouldn't have anyone in here because, or we don't have anyone in the top. Let's see. Top prospect is Bruce Botch of in the Mets organization. How is he not in the big leagues yet? He was the 12th overall pick in '71, and he's pretty much ready. I don't know why he's not up yet. First professional season, and he's already a 3.5-star player, and he's already Mac. Yeah. Again, another player who was really good. Good to see. Played for the Angels and the A's. I don't know what they're waiting on bringing him up, but that's fine. Let's see. Orlando Alvarez, Leon Roberts, Rick Rhoden. Didn't he? I could have sworn he pitched in the 90s, but I guess not. I thought he pitched for like the Cubs. Maybe I was thinking about someone else, but oh well. He's kind of toiled down in the lower levels for a little bit. He's not quite there. Let's see. Tony Arm, Bob, Mike Ivy, Jesus De La Rosa. Top 10. Let's look at the minor league systems. We're, again, halfway in the 72 season. We have the number 2 farm system in the big leagues. How? We have we have 5 prospects in the top 50. Stoner, big power. Look at that power. I want to move him to first base. He's not playing very well in AAA. He got promoted, it looks like, after 48 games. We may have to move him back down. This is interesting. This is an interesting development, really. Let's see. Daniel Adams in AAA, 24. We've actually thought about bringing him up. And you know what? 92, 400 plate. Cross, hello. Hello, Cross. We've actually thought about bringing up Stoner anyways. He is a top 40 prospect, top 50 prospect. But how are we doing, Cross? It is Thursday. And he's a really good defender, but he's a good defender at second more than so than shortstop. Don't know why his shortstop rating getting higher considering these are all 60s, but what do I know about anything? Let's look at who else. Dave Edwards, rookie ball prospect. Average at everything. Pretty good corner outfielder. He's not hitting that well right now, so he's got a little bit of development to go. Oh, yeah. All the stuff happening in California. Well, stay safe. I'm sure you are, but yeah, that I couldn't imagine dealing with wildfire like that. But yes, stay safe. Cars packed. Yeah, I heard they lifted the evacuation for LA, but that could be wrong. But still, if you can get out, get out. Let's see. Barry Foote, 3rd round pick, 1970, hitting pretty well. Still think he would be, And then our top prospect is Willie Randolph, who is doing well in the rookie league. Okay. Quintessential. He's pretty much a Yankee. They lifted for there's still orders for the Altadena and the Pet. Okay. Okay, so they lifted one, but okay. Well, okay, that makes. Again, I'm kind of just half seeing this, so obviously I don't have all the information, but um, yeah, on my end, I'm just getting a big snowstorm tomorrow. So, you know, and I'm in the south, so snow in the south means the city shuts down for a few days. So I got that going for me. Um, I went to the grocery store this morning, to the dollar store, hoping they would have, bread and stuff. They had bread, but it was expired. So, good for them. The first one that was the Palisades fire, the whole area is gone, burned to the ground. Damn. Yeah. It's kind of scary out there right now. Um, it's kind of whole situation could have been avoided, but there's so much mismanagement that's happened here in Cali and in LA. I'm not shocked, sadly. Not shocked. Okay, not shocked. Um, Seems like everything's getting mismanaged nowadays, and that's across the political spectrum and all that too. Who is this guy? Are the Giants in money trouble? Because they're putting a lot of players on the block, and it's not like they're terrible. So are the Mets, but okay. I'm not shocked about. Okay, so as I look at the trading block, yeah, let's see. Mm, who did we scout? Randy Hundley. He would be a fine backup catcher, but he's not the greatest. Who else did we? Dave Rader. Hitting a little better. Still below average hitter, but he's not quite the catcher. Again, let me take a look at Randy Hundley. By the way, random fact that I just remembered: Randy Hundley, his son also played in the big leagues. Todd Hundley, he played for the Mets back in like the late '90s, early 2000s. Just random, out of nowhere, out of nowhere facts. He pretty much only played for the Cubs, and he was pretty much he was a starter for most of his career. Yeah, I want to look at my catching situation. Okay. Okay. Let me see. All right. Okay, we've fooled around a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and sim these last few games. I'm still waiting for the scouting report on who did the Expos have in '72. It's a good question. Let's pull it up. We can kind of compare notes, right? Let's see. 72. Um, I'm gonna pull it up over here so I can see it. Let's see. Now I gotta figure out how to do a brow. I think I have a Chrome one. Let's see. Um, where's my Chrome scene at? Kids, organize your um, there we go. And then we'll full screen this. I don't. Okay. Oh goodness. Okay, so this is the Expo statistics. They had Gene Mock and Jim Fanning. They were ninth out of 12 in attendance. They were 66 and 90, but they're Pythagorean. One loss was 66 and 90. Here, let me make one more move. Okay, there we go. Let's see. They were their actual record was 70 and 86, so they were last or fifth in the NL East. Their lineup. Let's see. So they rolled. They pretty much had the same starters for the whole year. So they had Terry Humphrey, who I've never heard of, Mike Jorgensen. That name sounds familiar. Ron Hunt, Tim Foley. He's our actual shortstop. Here, let me move my face. Let me just drop my face. Bob Bailey was their third baseman. Ken Singleton, Boots Day. Oh, we have. Did my fart button not work? Oh no, not the fart button. Ah! It worked. Oh, it worked. Okay, I can't hear it then. Okay, I know why my fart button didn't work. I have no audio, so I can fix that. There we go. I benefit from the farts as much as y'all do. So this is who the Expos actually had. Tim McCarver, who way more known for his broadcasting. Let's see. Bunch of guys we've never heard of. Pitching wise, a bunch of guys I've never heard of. So Mike Torres, Bill Stoneman, who most of these players were very bad. Oh, here we go. Oh, shoot. Bill Stoneman, Mike Torres, Carl Morton, Ernie McNally, and then something called a Baylor Moore. Tom Walker, Joe Gilbert, Strom Mayer, Steve Renko, and Mike Marshall. Mike Marshall sounds familiar. I don't know why. He pitched for a while. Okay. Here, let me do this. Yep. So they were bad. They were. 66 and 90. They scored 5 and 19, gave up 609. So they were 4 games better. Their top home run guy was Bob Bailey, or actually no, it was Ron Fairley, 17. So this was the Expos season. We can look at their franchise history too while we're at it. Let me see, or can I? This is me not remembering how to use schedule and results. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Final. They were shut out 20 times. 31 blown leads. That was an awful lot. Let's see. 28 and 24 in one run games. Okay. Um, Here, I'm just going to pull up the. All right, so that's how the Expos did in that year. They were bad. So we'll go back to um, this, and we'll show off my face. There we go. We'll get rid of this too. All right. All right. So the fart randomizer worked. I forgot to turn my audio on in my headphones. So the first 2 hours of my stream, I didn't even need to have my things on in. So right now we're about 90 games in. We're at 45 and 45. We're kind of treading water, but honestly, like, I'm not sure yet. I think we might have to sell, actually. I've been wanting to buy, but of course I could just tread water a bit because we've been kind of looking at making some upgrades, but honestly, like, the only upgrade we need offensively is at catcher. And I don't want to mess with that position. And we can also use a center fielder. But looking at our batting stats alone, it looks like Junior Kennedy's dropped. Well, no, Royal Stillman's at 90 WRC. Junior Kennedy's about league average. We could use an upgrade there too, but he needs more at bats. Yeah, I'm thinking so too, but I didn't want to. I might have to. Maybe if we fall a little further behind, we may just have to play desperation mode here, which we're probably there anyways. I've been running him as a platoon against lefties. He's been playing a lot against lefties. I had always worried about defense with him because he's not a good defender. He's an okay defender in left. And then my other worry was that, well, the power should, you know what, actually? The things he's not good at is contact and walks. When he hits the ball, it's always impact. What are his splits? I think, honestly, and this might make me look. These are the right splits. Yeah. Okay. Even though against righties, he's still not, terrible. But he's hitting 400 against lefties. We might still have to use him against righties. He has a 100-point difference, but we're talking about, like, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. He's been in the big leagues the whole year. Could you trade the other first baseman for a starter? We could. Actually, you know what? Let's look at that, because we've been running Frank Howard down here, and they're basically, well, not quite the same player, but he's a negative at first base. He's also 35. And then the other one, so here's the one reason why I think I might actually be buying is I'm looking at the standings. I'm looking at expanded standings. In terms of like luck stats, like our run differential is better than the two teams ahead of us. And I don't know. I once you break that down into like who we've played or whatever, I don't know if that makes us better or worse. But like we could be leading the division if like we get on some stuff. Um, so maybe that's the move we make. Maybe we look at our first base situation because I didn't even consider it. Maybe shipping him for something really. I mean, we center fielder, starter, maybe even a reliever, but because I'm actually fine with my pitching staff. My pitching staff, I think, is fine. I bullpen, like we could probably use an arm. Um, Caldwell's kind of struggled for us a little bit, so that's something I am monitoring. He had a start where he gave up had 18 base runners, so he's struggling a little bit this year. But it's also his second year, so maybe it's sophomore slump, you know. Um, yeah. See, dang, he's 3.5 stars now. Dang, that's gone way up then. Oh yeah, his over his he went from 2.5 to 3.5, real quick. Uh, yeah. So I'm not too worried about like the pitching staff. I need bats. I need not necessarily bats. I need probably optimized bats here. We did make a lineup move. I basically swapped my 1 and 7 because Junior Kennedy, his on base is solid, but is a little bit better on base. Um, if Royal Stillman could ever figure out the hitting part of it, he'd be the ideal leadoff hitter, but he's not going to ever hit good enough to hit leadoff. I got him hitting 8th for the walks. So let's look at Frank Howard. Let's see what we can maybe shop. We'll shop him today and see what's. Let's just see what the market's for him. Obviously, we can do. Let's see, Bucky Dent. Not really a fan, but he's also 20. Hawk Harrelson, we can trade for Hawk. Don't know why. Let's see. Marty Perez. Not. Davey Lopes has been replacement level for Detroit. Good batting eye, not much else. Mark Carlson, a minor leaguer, low work ethic. That won't work. Our good friend Joe LaHood is down here for the Braves. Pretty much justified. Let's see. Relievers, Holt, May. Ted Sizemore? Ew. James Kobe, I think I was going to say we had him at one point. Ken Reynolds. This is interesting. OSA likes him a little more than my scout. I don't love this. Well, this rating's not great and this rating's not great, but the stuff in ground balls kind of offset that. And he's got 1, 2, 4. He throws 6 pitches, but 4 of them are really good. Maybe that's the move we make. 25. Ground ball pitcher. We do need more ground ball pitchers. Go down here to Pittsburgh. Maybe we can steal from Pittsburgh a little bit. Doc Medich. (1969) first round pick. Has pitched 2 years for them, 16 and 13. The ERA's come down a little bit this year. He's got good work ethic. Could also swing for him too. May have to yeah, okay. So I think what I want to do. Maybe we do like this sort of moment for now. Have I gotten my scouting report back on the shortstop I was looking at? Doesn't look like it. We'll keep going then. We'll finish today. Let's just do that. And we got a 2-game set with the Giants out in San Francisco. Let's see. Let's look at the All-Star voting. Our friend Bert Hooton. I just like saying the name. Is third in All-Star voting. I wish I could just trade for him. I tried to trade for him, but they wouldn't give him up. I know, shocking. Our friend Bert Hooton. Okay. So we gained a game on Pittsburgh in the bye, or the off day. Taking a look at the trading block still. We haven't gotten our scouting report on Ron Hansen back. I'm intrigued by him as a backup. Because I also think these batting numbers seem pretty good. So he could, like, maybe in a different environment, be okay. He's also 34, so I wouldn't. He might be a little on the old side. Let's see. And then the catchers, he could catch, but well, wait, it's 35 catcher rating. Yeah, he can frame. That's the only reason he has a good catcher rating is because he can frame. I don't think any of these catchers would make my team infinitely better than what I have. So, I think I'm going to sim through the All-Star break, or until we get that scouting report. Oh, we had a 16-inning game that ended well into the morning. So this was a 7:05 Pacific time, and it was a 4 half an hour game. So okay, so it wasn't super long. Nothing really happened until the late innings. It looks like Mora hit a sacrifice fly. And we got a couple runs in the 16th, it looks like. Okay. So we got the split there, a minimum split, and hey, we took a sweep, so that's good. And Lazinski went 0 for 4. We're just gonna basically do a platoon there. We got to Gaylord Perry a little bit. Apparently the spitter wasn't working. Stargell hit his 16th home run. Catfish Hunter has 2 home runs? I don't think he... That's interesting. And what's crazy here... First off, 363 double play. They only put the minimum out. Okay, the owner's still unhappy, but now we're 2 games over 500. Let's finish today, and now we are 6.5 games out. We still don't have a scouting report on our shortstop. We're going up against the Padres. They're still bad. We're not as bad, so naturally we should win 3-2. Okay, I was kind of hoping that would loss for there, so that would make my joke work, but I do appreciate the win. Caldwell had a better outing. We kind of got to Abbott a little bit, 3-1. We got some hits, weren't able to translate those into runs. And then game 2, okay, we take an 8-4 loss. Phil Necro got roughed up, and so did our Amo Yachty. M Yachty. There we go. I don't know how to pronounce these guys' names. Amo Yachty, whatever how you. Oh, he's Canadian. Oh, he's from Ontario. Okay. The weird Canadian guy got roughed up. And then we have a doubleheader. Usually doubleheaders. Oh, wait. We got. Oh, wait. Here we go. 2.5 stars, scouting report, 15 veteran. He profiles as above average defense, above average walks, average major league starter. That's kind of what I wanted to see. And basically, that's good. And then we can use him as our sort of platoon guy. He has. So let's go ahead and let's see. Okay, let's add something. Let's see what it would take. Honestly, we could do Cabral. John Cabral. We have enough of those guys in our system. Ideally, I could make one player here, and it would be. Do they want Smith? No, they don't want Smith. So we might just throw him in. Let's see. Let's see. What would Oh, they got plenty of money. They don't need money. So it's all of our top Hassler is a. Oh no, he's not a he's not really a prospect. Okay. I like the idea of Cabral here because he doesn't bring much to the table besides that big fastball and a good splitter. So maybe we do that. We'll just add him to the mix, and then that will. That way, I don't have to make a roster move here, and I get the player I want. And then maybe we can see what prospects they've got. See if they retain salary. Yeah, we could. I mean, they're willing to retain up to 75%. Not really worried about that. I mean, our available money would improve by $5,000. So, of course, we could do this. Okay, that's still okay. See if they'll, yeah, so they'll take, I mean, we could make that work, and then we could sweeten the pot a little bit here. Throw him back in. I mean, we'd get about 5K back. This might hurt our chemistry a little bit, but honestly, like, he's so bad that, like, I'm going to take this guy's defense. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this trade. Obviously, players are. This could hurt our chemistry, but we do have. The reason I made this trade is because we have a captain. So. Now, here's my other thing. Maybe the move we make is we fire our manager. If your manager has a bad relationship with the captain, that may not be a good indicator of anything. So maybe we just fire our manager real fast. So let's go to our front office staff roles. Our manager's mate Nate Tyner, who's good, but as you can see, real fair relationship with the manager. And then hitting coach James Brenton. Okay. He's got a good relationship with the hitting coach. Maybe we just take a look at moving our manager on. Particularly after the season. Maybe drop him down in the minors. I don't think he would like that too much. I mean, he's improved the team by a little bit. Not too much. Then who has bad relationships with hold on, I need to see this now. Oh, he has a poor relationship with. Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. This says he has a good relationship. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, well, anyways, owner's unhappy. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and move him into the lineup, and then we'll probably just go ahead and do a little bit of this. Obviously, all batters. Ron Hansen's merely a backup, but now we can go ahead and say, okay, you can play shortstop. And then third. And we'll keep Rosello at second for now, but honestly, I think I'd rather have Hansen at second too. Yeah. And he can be the backup against both sides, and then Rosello can just be a secondary option. There we go. Not necessarily, that wasn't like the big game-changing trade, but still a trade we need to make. The other thing I might want to do is see if I can't do do I have anyone who's an elite first base defender? No. Okay. I don't. Actually, yeah, I do. I could do something where I move him to... I have an idea. Obviously, this is basically us trying to improve on the margins a little bit. What if I make him a defensive sub at first? And then make him could this work? I don't know if this works, but there we go. We're still and I still want to figure out the Lazinski, Howard situation. Howard's still hitting well enough, but we're just doing an everyday platoon. Make sure. There we go. All right, so we're now last game of the series against San Diego. I think we're gonna head right into the All-Star break, right? Yep. Take that doubleheader sweep. Heck yeah, there we go. That's what we want to see. Yeah, so they did my loop-de-loo there. All right. 7-6, 6-2, doubleheader sweep of the Padres going into the All-Star game. Now we're 50-46. 6.5 games out. We are in third place. The Mets are 5.5 out. So we're about the same spot we were. All-Star game rosters for the National League. Let's see. Ed Figueroa made it. 2, 3. So we had 3 All-Stars. Ed Figueroa, Doug DeCensis in his rookie year, pretty much. And and Tim Foley made the All-Star game at shortstop. Even though he's kind of sunk, and he's sunk a little bit, but he brings so much value defensively, it works out. All right, so let's look at our first half stats. Kind of just do a little bit in review. Our batting average has slipped down to 5th. We were 3rd. I think 245 though. It's about where it was. 7th in on base. So second in slugging, second in OPS, 5th in runs scored, 4th in home runs, 10th in walks, 9th in strikeouts, 2nd in steals. Pitching, I've been fine with. We're top quarter of the National League, 3rd in run, 3rd in ERA, 3rd in runs allowed. Even though our kind of TTO outcomes aren't great, but we're 2nd in defensive efficiency. Looking here, we're 13-8 in July, so we had a good July to kind of mask the kind of crappy month of June we had. 24 and 24 over the last 2 months. Last 3 months, we're basically been a 500 team. When you look at it in those terms, we are 14, or we're 12 and 18 in one-run games. 23 and 24 at home, 27 and 22 on the road, 6 and 5 in one-run in extra innings. So kind of a little bit all over the place. I still think that the roster, I got good pitchers on my staff, but my issue is kind of how, I still wonder if the skill sets match the park. Looks like that's what I'm thinking. That's why I don't want to sell. I don't want to sell or be like big buyers. I don't want to go desperate because, again, we're at the All-Star break. This is the league standings. We have the best run of differential in the National League, but we're in 3rd place. That's why I don't want to make big changes. I just don't want to suddenly trade an impact player. Obviously, the National League's close enough together where if we go on a run, which is entirely possible with our roster, we could win the division. We could make this 6.5 up. We've also played fewer games, too, than the rest of the teams. We have 3 fewer games than the Pirates. That just gives us more of if we win those, we're 53, and now we're 4.5 out. The Mets might be a challenge because they've got positive run. They're basically playing like their record, so. But then the Phillies are in an interesting position too because they've got good run differential, but they're in last place. So while I don't want to look exclusively at run differential, I see a team that's not bad. The Cubs are somehow 10-3 in extra inning games. It's just that we have not really benefited from the close games in the way that the rest of the league has. Looking at our lineup wise, the numbers, still figuring out a way to get Greg Lazinski some plate appearances. Even though he's hitting 312 now, so that number has come down a little bit. So he went 1 for 6 in a game, so that kind of, his batting average has dropped now 20 points. So he's hitting now 270, 257, 278. So maybe we weren't wrong in giving him a bunch of plate appearances and all that. But to be honest, he's not that much worse than Frank Howard. who, quite frankly, like his makeup is not the greatest. So trading him, that might be a priority for us after the All Star break. Is just trading Frank Howard away, um, because his numbers can be replicated here. Almost. He doesn't quite have. He'll hit for better average to make up for the eye. Well, maybe not, but he's also not 35, and he's way better, way better fit for the overall team. But again, I feel like that's a move where if I make it, it just eats of like desperation. Maybe if we can get a better hitting catcher. I mean, Royal Stillman or catcher or center fielder. Let's look at his splits. And we got to look at major league splits because these have his minor league splits in there. I mean, he's got reverse split. Well, he's got reverse splits, but we're talking about a sample of 17 at bats, 19 plate appearances. 301 on base against left righties. Not great. His on base is higher than his slugging. So this is a position where we could make an upgrade at. So if there's one position I want to make an upgrade at, it's center field. Because I can do that, and then we can pretty much just get rid of Cesar Geronimo. I like Cesar Geronimo, however you want to pronounce his name. He just can't hit. And I've been using him as a defensive substitution and a base running substitution for some time, but he's just not going to hit well enough to make the lineup. So maybe we take a look. Let's just go through the All-Star break. We're about to run some ads here in a minute. So trading deadline. Oh, we can look at the block. Let's look at center field. And Willie Davis is here. Well, he doesn't have the best. I don't like his personality traits. I don't. But let's see. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna run some ads, and then I'm gonna go figure out what I want to do for the next week. We want to look at upgrading our center field position. We do have some options here. I'm not thrilled about any of them, but we'll run these ads. That way, the bill collectors won't show up and steal everything we have. So I'll be back soon. Thank y'all for hanging out. We'll wrap this save up, and then we might do something else. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on what mood I'm in. But yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. It's cold. Get y'all some coffee, nice blanket, and we'll see you in a couple minutes. I'm back from ads. If you are watching this on the YouTube side, I have not really been checking the comments over there, so hopefully y'all are behaving. Just join me over on Twitch for if you want to send a chat or anything like that. Yeah. So okay, we're back. We're gonna wrap this stream up here in the next little bit. We're just looking at trade block. Hello, y'all. We're back. Hopefully the ads were good. So we're gonna spend the rest of this time here. We're gonna look at the All-Star break. We're just gonna power through it. I want to upgrade center field. Unfortunately, like Willie Davis would probably be the obvious option here. Obviously, while he does provide a little bit of value offensively, I just don't like his personality, and I'd be stuck with him for a little bit. So, I mean, he doesn't. He's not good enough to have the shitty attitude he does. So that's why we're not gonna trade for him. He's also 32. And the rest of these guys, none of them are like good enough. I mean, we could entertain a corner outfielder also, because as we look at we'll just look at our roster here. Jimmy Wynn can play a competent center field. We have a situation set up already where we have like a three-way going in there, but where we have like a weird like outfield platoon there. So we do plug in Wynn and Geronimo as defensive subs and Royal Stillman. So that's our late game defense, which is pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, we're doing the same now in the infield. But so we could entertain someone like Dick Dietz here, who is hitting. You know, he's a good hitter. He's got 4 home runs. He's only had 100 plate appearances. So he could be he's basically very similar to Lazinski, right? But he makes 200,000. So we might want to. We've got the. Our head scout seems to like him there. So maybe, and that could even bring in a player like Buford, but I don't want Buford. He does solve our leadoff problem, though. But I think I want more of an impact bat than Buford. I would like that 300 on base, but I think we need some. But, I mean, what's one of our problems, right? Let's look at our stats. Let's look at our team stats, right? What has plagued us? Getting on first base. We're middle of the pack. We have slugging. So maybe we trade for a Buford even, right? As we look at our block. Where the hell's as we look at the player trading block, right? Like, he does everything well with hitting except for the power. He's even got a good amount of gap power. But if he would only play left field, he would play left field for us. He's a switch hitter. Maybe we do this. Maybe we offer. They'll take it straight up. I think we make this trade. Because he gives me a leadoff batter. I can move Junior Kennedy down in the order, like 7th or something. He'll hit leadoff. We can kind of platoon around in the outfield. We can We don't have to pull him in the seventh inning. I think this works. And we'd only lose 14,000. So maybe we get them to retain some salary. Let's see. Let's see if we can get them to retain some salary. Y'all. They're willing. They're fed up. They're fed up with Buford. Buford. Low adaptability, low loyalty. I'm not too concerned about those, but if this trade doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I think that's the move we make. We don't lose anything from this. We just give up a player that, you know. Now, okay. My one concern. Well, my one concern is we lose the power. But like he's got 12 home runs, and like Lazinski can probably match that. Throw in one of their yes. That's a good idea. Let's see what they got. It's always a good idea to raid their farm system. Like maybe. Okay, so they won't give us Bob Beal. Let's see what they've got. They don't have a lot of. Maybe if they got like, not a lot to like there. And let's see. Robert Blakely. Okay, I want to make sure my scouts ratings are showing. Not. I'm seeing if they got anybody who. Wait, nah, crap. If they've got anybody who has, like, development potential left. Unfortunately, they're all players that they have drafted in the last draft, so they're ineligible. What about Randy Stein? I know he's not really like catcher or center field, but honestly, that would be too steep, I think. I don't know if he's. Yeah. I mean, I've got plenty of pitchers like this already on my team, so I don't need him to. Yeah, so I think the trade straight up is going to work. Because I don't really see any of their prospects that I like. So let's just go ahead and complete this. And then now we got to make a few moves to make this work. So we'll go to lineup. Obviously, we'll have to throw. Let's just do this. We'll have to throw Lazinski into first. We'll use Willie Stargell as the backup here. And we're still going to do kind of the defensive platooning there. And then the outfield doesn't change here. Actually, yeah. Yeah, it does. We're going to do... we're going to have to do Willie Stargell in right field, unfortunately. But... we're going to have to do Willie Stargell in right, unfortunately. So we're going to do Jimmy Wynn. We're going to lose a little bit defensively. And this is probably maybe why I shouldn't have done this trade, but Jimmy Wynn in center, Willie Stargell in right. And then, oh wait, I gotta actually put him on my roster real. Don Buford in left. Don Buford in left. And then we'll do we'll do this say Stillman, Geronimo, and Wynn will be the Jimmy Wynn will be the right field defensive substitute. And we don't have to, well, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, yeah. We want to do that. And then Buford is a 60, so we're going to replace a 60 with an 80. So we're going to make that move too. We don't have to necessarily, but I think that's the smart move there. And now what we'll do is we're going to swap him. Why do I have Willie Stargell hitting 8? I think let's do this. Stargell 5th, 6th, and then he'll hit 8th because he can draw some walks. So we're going to move him from 1 to 8. Against lefties, we're going to make a lot of the same moves. So Lazinski goes to playing first. Okay. And then Buford plays left. And then the other move I want to make is I want to put Stillman as the backup at all 3 positions. There. And then who else do I have that can play first? Stillman. Stillman can play first too, but honestly, he's not a good enough defender to offset the inability, his lack of offense. And then lefties, let's see. Buford, Geronimo. Yeah. Wait a minute. 80, 70. 75, 70. So it's the same player. Okay, that's fine. And then that doesn't matter then. And then as far as lineup, we'll put him in the leadoff spot. Let's make sure there's there's not much in the way of platoon splits. He's better against lefties. And then Wynn, Stargell, DeSentis, and then we're going to move Lazinski into the 5. Echeverry will hit 7th. Actually, you know what? They have similar walk ratings, don't they? Yeah. He does have a little bit better batting average, so we can. We could actually. Let's adjust that down. Yeah, that's a little unnecessary. He shouldn't be running so much. He's also, well, it's weird because yeah, okay. Oh, he's a super aggressive base runner. He's just not good at it. Maybe we just curtail that. Maybe we just develop that in the offseason. Plus, he hits for power, so why is he even base running? He can get hurt. Um, okay, so we made that trade. I think we could stand pat and be fine. Um, I might now think about getting a left-handed hitting first baseman, and we could do a platoon. Since we basically let's finish today. Trade block. Left-hand hitting first baseman. We've looked at Norm Cash already, but I don't like this stuff. He's got bad mentals. He's also 37. Let's see. Ron Fairley of the New York. Not great power. Let's see. Jim Northrup of Kansas City. Outspoken personality. Not a great hitter. Let's see. J.C. Martin. Probably not that great. Yeah. He's also unmotivated. Let's see. Roger Repaz. High work ethic, high intelligence. He's a pretty good outfielder. He's not a great first baseman. We also have, if the platoon falls apart, we could. What is Stargell hits left-handed? If this falls apart, we can always platoon Lazinski and then put Stillman back in the outfield and like right or something. So we can monitor that. I think Stillman could work in a platoon setting. Maybe not. Maybe not. But so we could get a left-handed outfielder too. That was my whole point. So we could even take a look at Joe Pepitone. Could be a good player for us. We had him a couple years ago. He has not played much. So this could be a move for us too if he's unhappy in Texas, so he's not going to play well. He hit 14 home runs last year for, league average. But for a platoon spot, we could do something there. Because we do have, I do have one, kind of dead spot in my lineup. So, because we do have Cesar Geronimo, who's not that great. Stittner, we're using him as a defensive. We're using him as a defensive sub only right now. But as far as let's assume through the All-Star break. Let's see how the All-Star break goes. Billy Conigliaro of Boston, who is good apparently. Jesus Christ. So the American League won 12-9. Checking in on our boys. Let's see. Joe Morgan 2 for 3. Pete Rose went 3 for 6. My guy went 0 for 4 with 4 Ks. Whoops. Foley went 3 for 6. I don't think I had any pitchers in here, did I? Oh, yeah, I did, but he didn't pitch. Okay. Okay, so we could play around with that. We'll finish today. We do have a 2-game series with St. Louis. The owner is still unhappy. I think he should kick rocks, personally. So the trading block right now. So right now, if we're looking at this. I don't really think I need pitching. Uh, we're looking specifically at left-handed hitting outfielders or left-handed hitting first baseman, but I think we can make moves to be fine at that if push comes to shove. So right now I'm thinking I think we should just trade for Joe Pepitone. Texas doesn't want him. He doesn't. Honestly, he doesn't really make us that much better. But I'm looking at it. He's got pretty good power against righties. So obviously he would fit the platoon part. He could play corner outfield. And then we could just slide. He can play first base too. So that might be not an obvious move. It could be a move we can make. Vic Davalillo he doesn't have the empty batting average really. We've had him before. We've also had I think we've had Pepitone. Yeah, we had him in 1970. He was actually pretty good for us. We actually ended up trading him to Texas. Let's see. Jim Northrup. Completely average, but he's got bad personality traits. I don't. Let's see. Rich Reese. Interesting. They got him from Milwaukee. He's 30. He doesn't do anything exceptionally well. But he's a really good defensive first baseman and left fielder. He's only played 27 at-bats for the Mets. But he's also a division rival, and I don't know if I want to give up too much to get someone who really hasn't provided them much value anyways. He also hit... I'm going to check something. So we would have to get... we would have to give someone up that I wouldn't want to give up. Maybe Sharon, actually. Dick Sharon. We picked him up in a trade. Nah. Mark Stoner. He's actually... I want to do something with Mark Stoner. I want to move him to first base. Because he can only play second or third. But I'm looking at these ratings, and I think he would be a good first baseman. He profiles as he's a little on the small side. I think he would be better at first. He's got good power, too. Let's see. And then Lucky Tom. Oh, that's my current starting second baseman. Oh, no, he's not. He's in AAA right now, and he's in 185. We'll see. I'm not too keen on him personally. I don't think he's good enough to warrant giving up that much. Let's see. Lou Brock is here, but he's only played 72 plate appearances. We could look at splits. Yeah, his split. Actually, yeah, he's not got great splits. He's only 33. Why is he so, not great all of a sudden? Okay, so Pepitone and Rich Reese are the only two I really like. and I kind of don't want to trade with the Mets. And I've had Pepitone before. He makes good Oh, he's going to be low average, though. Actually, second thought. Well, this to me does not make sense. He's good at avoiding contact. He doesn't have any plate discipline, but the contact he makes is good contact. Huh? Maybe he hits a lot of foul balls. I don't know. Like, I would think, like... But he... Oh, yeah. That's the other thing, too. Yeah, I'm looking at someone... Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, we got to get someone who probably wants to be like well, he expects to be in the starting lineup too. And again, he's actually better than the other guy I was looking at. But and I'm only making this trade as a hedge against this platoon I'm doing falling apart against Lazinski. Where the heck? But I have Royal Stillman, who's not a great hitter, but let's see if I have that option in AAA. Left-handed hitting outfield bat. I've got Dick Grant, who we could just bring up. He can only play first base, though, so we're looking at someone who's a pinch hitter. Luis Gonzalez. Actually, now that I think about this, we could just bring Luis Gonzalez up if we have to. Like, if the platoon thing falls apart, like Luis Gonzalez has got an OPS of 138 in AAA. He's hit 11 home runs. He's a good defender. He's a good defender in the corner outfield. Like, this is probably where I would go. He's a TTO player. Like, he's kind of small to be a TTO player, but I think we might be done making trades. I think we might be done making trades because. Yeah. He's hit 11 home runs. He hit 15 in AA last year. So he's got average power. Looking at these across the board. He doesn't have any platoon splits except for walks. He sees the ball better out of right-handed hitters. So we could try that option if it's there. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Is Lucky... Where's Mark Stoner playing? I'd rather have him playing. Oh. Here's the other move I'm going to make. So we could just say... He's going to play first base. He's going to learn to play first base. In fact, for start there. Don't know if he's great or not, but maybe we need to send him back to AA. I'm going to send him to AA, actually. 28 games, he's at 165, he's not starting. Let's just send him to AA. They can figure out what to do with him. Pete Mackinnon, he is what he is. but he's just blocked up. So I think I might be done making trades. We'll see. We'll go through the All-Star break. We might make something happen. We do have a couple spots that are like, okay, why are we putting this player here? But let's see how this lineup does. The first game, we win 2-1. Hey, look at that. We won a one-run game. Buford went 0 for 3, and he was pulled as a defensive sub. Yeah. Caldwell, Garber. We want to see how Caldwell does in the second half as well. Looks like the first game went pretty well. Now we're kind of cooking now, y'all. We've won now 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 7. Yeah, okay. Then we leave 6-2. Well, okay. So much for that. Looks like Catfish got hit around a little bit. They're a good team, but... And then let's see. Okay, so that was a 2-game series. Now we have a 3-game set against the Mets. And then we have a bunch of games again. Ooh, we got a bunch of games against Cubs in August. Houston, Atlanta. How does September look? I was hoping we would play more tomato cans, but I think we've played all our tomato cans for the year. We might be the tomato can thing, the way things are going. All right, let's check our messages, see if there's any weird ones. Oh, okay. I'm going to mark all these as red. Okay. So we go to New York and we lose 2-3 in 10 innings. So once again, we're done in by weird things. Necro pitched well, but it was a blown save. I might rethink lifting Buford for a We also have Rosello here, who's not the greatest hitter in the world. All right, so we're 51-48, and that actually sends us a game further behind the Mets. So that was probably, yeah. And then we got our teeth kicked in. Figueroa was pretty bad. Okay, so all right, let's start. Okay, so we're at the trade deadline. We're 9 games out, so I honestly, we're probably just going to stand pat. I think we're too far out of it to make any substantial moves, and I don't really want to sell because I don't really want to sell right now. Lazinski has kind of struggled, so maybe we do. Older players on expiring contracts. Well, we got some older players. We did just trade one of them, by the way. I mean, we have Buford, who we just traded for him. One thing we do have to think about, and I don't really know how it's going to work in, but I need to look this up. And that is this. I'm gonna pull it up real fast. This is something we may have to consider. So we're gonna do a little history lesson. Is this free agency? We do not have free agency yet, but it started. Let's see. Has existed since the 1972 season, with the which was the Players CBA, which is 1976. Okay, so this looks like it set into effect in 1976. I was trying to remember when this came in. Yeah. So I'm still operating under the reserve clause. I could bring in free agency if I felt like it, but and then we'll see how it works because it looks like they changed the CBA. And 10 years ago, which did service time. Yeah. Okay. What if you switch Lazinski and Starger's lineup spot versus right-handed pitching? Yeah, okay, so that's that. Let's go back to this then. Let's take a look at that. Stargell and Lazinski. 3 and 5. Against what? Righties? Yeah. Probably need to do that anyways. That'll give me a. Let me take a look at his split still. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Eesh. Okay. We're probably gonna have to make a little bit of a trade here. I thought we might be done, but I can't keep running Lazinski out there against lefties. So, or against righties. He's now which is kind of what I expected to happen. Let's look at the trade deadline. I guess we could start it, but I'm just gonna go to player trade. We're just gonna go to trade block, and then we're just gonna sort these by the lefty. I almost don't care what position they play at this point. Maybe we do a filter. No. We got a filter here, so I'm just gonna let's see. I almost don't care what position they play. As long as they can play first or the outfield. Let's just do it this way. I don't. He expects to be a cleanup hitter, but he bats right-handed. Never mind. I'm looking for a lefty. Rusty Staub is available. He again expects to be a cleanup hitter, which, admittedly, I mean, he would probably play every day. But he's a good enough hitter overall where I could just put Lazinski back on the bench. or just do a platoon with him because he's gonna platoon it there at you know, right field more than likely. We can move Stargell. I like. So do I. Let's see what we can. Let's see if we can make this work. Okay. Okay. He can be had. So he can be had. And we can just make it work. Is there anybody here who I don't particularly like, or who I think could be? You know, I like Rosello, but I like Rosello. He's got good ratings. He's not playing for me. He didn't play much last year. He played, like, he's a good player, but he's on my bench. He's not really playing much. I've got players in my organization who could match his production. As much as I like Rosello, I think he might be the one I'm willing to give up. Or I could give up one of these, like Hassel. I don't like giving up starting pitching, or I don't like giving up pitching. Even Edwards, like, I want to see how he develops a little more before I decide if I want to make him. Like, Daniel Adams can. You know what? Maybe we just do Daniel Adams because 8th round pick. Like, he's someone I considered bringing up for a shortstop. Adams or it's Adams or Rosello. It's Adams or Rosello. It's Adams. Yeah, it's Adams. Yeah, it's Adams. All right. So I'm going to make this trade. We'll trade for him. It's Adams. Obviously, they like the trade. And let's see what else we can throw in. I'm going to pause this. Oh, no. Let's see. If they've got any, like, toolsy type players. Like, let's see if they'll... Yeah, there we go. Because now I'm like, they're probably not going to give up their any more outfielders, and everybody else is pretty much just like, okay, maybe not him, but now I'm just looking at players who have like anything I can work with. Okay, maybe Steve Grilly. Yeah. Terry Humphrey, maybe? Ooh. Let's see if they'll take... Heck yeah. There we go. Let's see. What about Candy Harris? We can pass on him. Jim Nor. I'm not particularly fond of him. What about these two down here? No. What about John? Oh no, he's got too much red flags. What about? Okay, I think we're fine. I think this is a fine trade package, and then we can do. Let's see if they'll retain some salary. All right, we have a personal message. Okay. Fans like that trade, and so do I. So what we'll do now is kind of work him into the lineup. We have... shoot. He's on their 40. We'll just DFA him and see. We'll just DFA him. Oh, okay. The corresponding move here is we're gonna send Geronimo down. Okay, we'll waive in DFA Caesar Geronimo. And then we will bring up Rusty Staub. And then Beaver. Well, we'd have to put him on our big league roster since he's out of options. Or actually, no, we can see if he'll take a minor league assignment. Oh, he has a major league contract, so we'll just waive and DFA him. We're gonna have to have him clear waivers or something. Let's see. We waive him. There. So we'll have to wait on him, but he's just kind of toolsy. Like, he doesn't bring together anything there. So we're gonna go ahead and now so basically what we did. Okay, whatever. Is now we have lineups. Against righties, now we put Stargell at first, and Rusty Staub in right. Okay. And then we can put Lazinski as the backup at first, and the backup in left, and use Stillman there. Stillman and Wynn will still like. We'll have to put. We'll just move Stillman to be there, and we'll just take that off entirely. Move him to center, and then Wynn to right. There. And then against lefties, and then what we could do is we could even keep this lineup as it is. And then against lefties, let's take a look at his ratings. Honestly, he doesn't have great big splits. He's 28 too, by the way. He's 28. I think for now, let's see if we have. What about Buford here? Maybe we use Buford and we platoon Buford and Lazinski. Or what about Willie Stargell? How is? Oh, he's still got the big power. Big power numbers. Yeah, they're still good enough against lefties to not really have to worry about using him as a platoon. So we got to keep Lazinski's bat in there against lefties. So we can do Buford potentially. What are his? Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll platoon Lazinski in left. Okay. So we'll bring Rusty Staub to play left field. Actually, right. We'll move him back into right. Willie Stargell can play left. And then we'll do here. We'll do Stillman in center. And then Jimmy Wynn will move over to, and then, yeah. Rusty Staub doesn't even profile in left, but maybe he could. I mean, maybe we kind of. Let's do this. Let's move him to the right, and then we'll have. Wait a minute, actually. There's no dope trading deadline. There's no real difference. We're kind of done with that. I think I would rather have Rusty Staub in right than. Actually, we could do this, and then we could have Rusty Staub in left. Oh, that's against righties. Son of a biscuit. Oh, here, let me. There. Blazinski, and then we'll have Willie Stargell be the backup there. We'll have Stillman be the replacement. And then we'll have Staub be the left fielder, defensive stub. So we'll move him from right to left, get Stargell out of the game. Or maybe we could even. Oh no, he's not a great defensive first baseman. Okay, so I think that's going to be the move. I think that's the move. Oh, here, Stillman will have to be the backup here too. And then we can use Buford in left, where he's not a dumpster fire. So we're going to platoon Don Buford. And here the lineup will be. We got to change this up a little bit. So we'll move Junior Kennedy back into the leadoff spot. I don't love that, but let's see. What are his splits? What are his splits? He doesn't have great splits, but that's the best I can do. And then. Or we could see what his splits are against lefties. There's no difference. Okay. Yeah, so let's see. We got to get him. Let's put him 5th, Lazinski 6th. Actually, that's due. Of course, we could do Buford. We could just do Buford and yeah. Because Buford's a switch hitter. So. But I think this lineup is more impactful. Wait a minute. Who could we hit? We could go a little unconventional here. Obviously, I'm going to move him and Etchebarren. Who's got good walk ratings? Let's just, okay, he's got a 50, 40, he's 65, but he's, let's see, 50, 45, 70, but he's 70. He's a platoon. Okay, we're done. We are about to run one more set of ads, which I didn't anticipate. I didn't realize I would take 30 years to make a trade. Oh, he's got reverse splits. What are his ratings? He's odd. He has reverse splits, except for the walk rating. Maybe we put him in the leadoff spot against lefties. Hmm. Okay, y'all. We are going to run one more set of ads. And then what I'll do is I'm probably just going to let the trade deadline run out. I think it's on the last where it won't run anyways because I don't need to make any pitching changes. I could just snooze the ads, but I think this will be fine. Um, and then I need to set some pinch hitters. Oh, we could just have real still. Or, I like Staub leadoff. I know, so do I, but I do worry about just for the walks alone. This is against lefties. I'm sticking with Buford lead off against righties. That would be weird to have a lefty lefty to start, but I think that might be where the move is. Oh, we still have 3 more deadline days. We could just skip through those. So I'm just going to let it run through. I'm going to take one last ad break, and we'll come back and we'll figure out what this lineup should look like against left-handed pitching. So we might just do because I don't think Junior Kennedy's a leadoff hitter. But I'm gonna run these ads. I'm gonna go take a screen break, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. One last thing before we got two more deadline runs to make, so we can at least take a look at our bullpen. I mean, the only one who here is bad is Aurelio Lopez, and he's just been unlucky. So I don't think I want to make any moves to the pitching staff. We could actually just swap Jim Barr, maybe give him a few more starts because he's on a hot streak. Maybe even like downvote. But let's go back to kind of our lineups here. And we'll look at this and then we'll kind of end the stream on a good note. We're running Buford. Our lineup against righties is set. Buford, Wynn, Stargell, DeSenses. It's pretty much lefty-righty down. I like it. Lefties, I like Junior Kennedy. He's just like, he's not great. And you know, his splits say he's, 80 OPS plus against left righties. And do you want to give your most at bats to that? Probably not. 311 on base is doable, but even Rusty Staub here, who, let's just go back to our lineup here instead of hitting the back button 30 times. Rusty Staub, even against lefties, is producing at a 308 on base. And he's definitely got a little more potential for power with a 94 OPS plus. We kind of sacrificed the average for his ability to play first to get on. So, yeah. And his ratings are better. Even his batting ratings against lefties, they're average across the board. We can do a comparison with Kennedy real fast. And we can see he's here. Batting or ratings, they're the same. Worst batting eye. No power. So we could keep him at the 8 spot. And we'll just go back to the lineup. We're going to go back to our lineup. We're done making trades. So we could go Junior Kennedy in the 8. Obviously, Etcheberry wouldn't lead off. So we're going to go Rusty Staub hitting lead off, right? Wynn second, Stargell third, DeSenses fourth, Lazinski fifth, Tim Foley sixth, Etchebarren would hit seventh. And the reason I put Etchebarren, well, actually, Junior Kennedy 7, Etchebarren 8. And I think that might be the move against righties. Yeah, we're going to flip-flop those two. Yeah. Again, it's just degrees of difference here. And then let's make sure our substitutions are good. So at first, we're going back to Willie Stargell. Lazinski will play there. Kennedy, Hansen, DeSenses, Hansen, Foley, Hansen. That's fine. Rosello, he's just not producing right now, so he's going to be kind of stuck on the bench for a little bit. He's kind of trapped on the bench. We might just send him down to... We could send him down to the minors and potentially bring up someone who... Maybe Dick Grant. Maybe a little more instant offense. Or even someone like a Frank Baker. No, I don't like Frank Baker. We'll look at that at the next stream, though. Once, even Andy Coswell. No, we had him at the start of the year. Let's see, Mike Rogozinski here. Left-handed bat could be a good option for us, just as a bench player. Bench player only would be a pinch hitter. Because against lefties, we got Don Buford we could use as a pinch hitter. Even Ron Hansen could be used. So maybe we send Rosello down to the minors. Let's send Rosello down to the minors. Would he play much in AAA though? Because he's got Frank Taveras, Lucky Thompson. Do I have a shortstop? Oh, I don't have a shortstop. Perfect. He'll play shortstop. Maybe we can develop him as a shortstop. We just traded our starting shortstop, by the way, transfer to AAA. Yeah, he can kind of play shortstop. So we'll send Rosello down to AAA. And then we're going to bring up Mike Rocket. We're going to bring him up, and we're going to promote him to Montreal. Oh, he's got, okay, so we got to DFA somebody. Yeah, we got to DFA somebody real fast. We're going to DFA Rick Blott. We're going to waive and DFA him. And then we're going to bring him up, put him on to Montreal. There we go. And now what we can do here is we can go to our lineup, and now our pinch hitting situation against righties. We now have Mike Rogodzinski as our primary with Stillman, Hansen, Lazinski. Actually, let's do Lazinski, Stillman, Hansen. We're at the end of the trade deadline. I'm just going to kind of let it go. And then base running, Royal Stillman will be our pinch runner. In most cases, he will probably already be in the game anyways. And then I think he's really the only guy I've got who can really run. So Junior Kennedy's there. We don't really need him he's starting. And then against lefties, this is where we can go with Don Buford, Hansen, and then that's probably it. And then we'll go with Stillman here as a pinch runner. I don't really have a right-handed bat who's already, so that's the moves. I think the lineup here, we're doing something a little different, but that's fine. I don't know if we can make up 9 games though, but we're gonna make a move to, and we just gotta really get going with this. So we're gonna let these. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here. We'll just skip that. Trade deadline is now passed. Let's go ahead and sim this last day so we kind of see how our makeshift lineup does. Make sure everything is set. With Staub, you might make... It's certainly an ask. Now, let's take a look. It's certainly an ask, but let's take a look at the standings real fast. Obviously... Yeah, okay, so... We're equal, but again, like... Let's take a look at, like... We're still 13 and 19 in one-run games. So any sort of regression might help us a little bit. But I think we're in a better position now than we were at the beginning of the stream. Unfortunately, it looks like us and the Mets are about the same team now. We're all about the same team. So now it's about who catches fire and who doesn't. We do have a lot of games in division in the next 2 months, so we can map out we can kind of map out our schedule. Like we still have in August, like we have three against Pittsburgh, a bunch of games against the NL West, 3 against the Cubs. 6. We got a bunch of games against the Cubs, but we play Pittsburgh we play Pittsburgh 6 times in the month of September. And then we play the Mets 3 times in October at the end. So maybe these games against the Cubs and Phillies will help us in September as we approach. Houston, we kind of just took a player from Houston. The Braves are a perennial dumpster fire, I think. And then we look at the standings. Yeah. Braves, Houston, we got a lot of games with them coming up. We just took their best player, Houston. So that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and finish out the month. We'll look at our could be in my rotation next year. Let's see. Mark Stoner is now 2.5 star. He's going to develop his first baseman skills, and he could be an eventual replacement at first base with these power numbers, which I like. Pete Makinen, probably a quad A player at this point. So he's someone I can use as trade bait. Let's see. Jimmy Collins, first baseman. Not much there. Let's see. John Harbin, shortstop. Not a bad profile. Jim Nettles, nothing special there. Willie Randolph. His potential's now dropped to 4.5 stars, but his defensive rating is now a 55 overall. Even an 80 works. This is my leadoff hitter of the future if he develops. I can also use him as trade bait because he's not an impact bat, and he's not great defensively. He could be a great second baseman. He doesn't have the arm to play another position, so he's someone I could use as trade bait. So that's that. We did lose to the Mets, so we'll take a look at that box score. Looks like Tom Seaver. So Tom Seaver happened. He's still one of the best pitchers in the game. Well, still, he's 27. He's in his prime. But so Tom Seaver happened. It looks like Rusty Staub went 0 for 4. A lot of people went 0 for. This is the one I'm going to monitor because he's the only thing he's really here for is to pinch hit. He's got one role on the team. Seaver's absolutely, yeah. Real life and in the video game, apparently. So I think that's going to be it for me. We've done enough damage. We'll see next week how this save ends up. I think I might. Yeah. So we'll see how this save ends up, this season ends up, because we'll do the last 2 months probably pretty quickly. The next time we do this, we'll save. Next week I'm only planning 2 streams, so it'll be Wednesday and Thursday. I would stream Monday night, but I think I'd rather watch the NFL playoffs. I know. Okay, I'm not going to send out a raid, so I'm going to go ahead and end this. I should get out of this mode and rip some packs in my perfect team because I think I got some set up there. I would, but I haven't looked at perfect team in like 4 months, so maybe that's a bad time to start looking at that. With the game coming out the next game coming out in like 2 or 3 months, probably not a good time to get into perfect team. But hopefully we can rally a bit. We are 9 games out. We're actually now in 4th place. We're actually now behind the Cardinals. So they pulled ahead 1 game. But the Cardinals, like, again, a bunch of teams about the same. We might just be too far behind at this point, but we can build for next year. And that's fine. Yeah, this is crazy to me that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 teams in the NL East have positive run differential. We're just beating up on each other, which makes our 9-game deficit maybe a little hard to overcome. We should just play the Padres every game. Maybe I'll rig a mod to where we just play the Padres every game, and then these 2 teams just play the Oakland A's and Boston. We'll just do that. All right. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all have a good rest of the day. I'll be back next week, probably Wednesday night. I have been playing some other games. I kind of want to do some more variety this year. Maybe get away from the games I played last year a little bit. And I have Elden Ring, and I kind of want to be really bad at Elden Ring on stream again. So I might work that in at some point. But the baseball stuff will be the focus. Definitely when we get closer to the release cycle for the next game. I haven't heard anything about it, but they're definitely at the point now. So, all right, let me just plug the stuff, and there's my links. But I'll see y'all next week. Maybe I could hop on tomorrow or Saturday if I decide the snow is too much for me to get to work, because we are looking at a pretty significant snowstorm coming in. But yeah, I'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Thank y'all for hopping in. I thought we made some good moves. We'll see how they work out. Bye, y'all.